broadcasting to you on WNN 1470 AM and TrentoVision.tv from the world's leading think tank laboratory, buried deep in an undisclosed building in hostile territory where evil and corruption is exposed. You're about to enter the Tom Trento Show.
All hands back at battle station.
Tom Trento heads United West, a group that says it defends Western civilization against the onslaught of Islam.
Maybe. What is that? Oh, is that today?
Was not expecting that.
I was going to say, Houston, we have a problem, or probably better yet, Mecca, we have a problem. But it is Jumpin'Jum'ah Freaky Friday. There it is. I kill you. We found the source of that. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that was
And we
great.
got Imam Abdullah with us. I was going to say, Houston, we have a problem, but it's probably more appropriate, Mecca, we have a problem. And the problem revolves around CAIR.
Who?
Council CAIR. Who cares?
Who
but CAIR.
cares?
Council on American Islamic. It's an acronym.
Mm-hmm.
C, Council.
Mm-hmm.
A, on American. I, Islamic. R, Relations. Acronym CAIR.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorist organization.
Mm-hmm.
The problem.
Can you prove it?
No. Just saying. I just say things.
You're just throwing that
He
out there?
does. Trento just says things. He always does that. He's a hater. The Washington CAIR, the CAIR organization in Washington, D.C., yesterday held a press conference. I'm going to show everybody a little bit of it on the 20th of September, today, 2013. We got a little problem because they are, you talk about soft targets and goofy people, and it reminds me of one of the reasons I wore this shirt. I'll tell you about that a little later.
Yeah, I thought there was.
It reminds me of the little kid when you come into the kitchen. His hand is not only in the cookie jar.
He's got his eyes covered like this when he's walking into the kitchen to get to the cookie jar because he thinks he's so slick that you can't see him if he covers his eyes.
And he's got chocolate all over his face.
Yeah.
That's guys like Nihad Awad
Actually,
and
the
Omar
kid
Ahmed.
who dove into the cookie jar and is like eating his way from the inside of the cookie jar, eating his
Out
way
of
back
it.
out.
And we're all watching them, and they go, no, 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 no. We are not terrorists. We don't support Hamas. We don't support Hezbollah. We don't support we don't know what jihad. I love everybody.
Jihad is a warm, fuzzy inner struggle thing.
These guys are such knuckleheads that they're low information voters, and they, because they're so infiltrated in, insinuated in, intertwined in the Obama administration, and they were in part of the Bush administration. They got to provide cover for the elected officials, so they wear nice suits and all of that. And they always have, none of them can speak English very well. They're all Arabic speaking. So they always have an American dhimmi, a convert to Islam that speaks perfect English. That's their spokesperson, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Well, they had their press conference yesterday.
Yes, it was a
revealing-
rousing success, wasn't it?
Yeah. Now, you got to understand, this is an organization that every one of the people that are complaining and talking about Islamophobia and all that, they got about 47 FBI agents watching each one of them wherever they go, because the FBI...
Because the FBI wants to establish cordial relations with
Yeah, they
them?
want to establish cordial relations. So they had their little press conference yesterday and released a 27,000-page report.
No.
Knows 150 or 60 pages. And you're in it.
I'm in it.
The United West, you made it.
I made it.
Congratulations.
Are you telling me I'm
Peter.
somebody now?
You're somebody now.
You're in there.
The new
United West.
Islamophobia report is here. The new Islamophobia report
Yeah,
is
the-
here.
was it the
I'm
church?
somebody now.
Steve Martin, a jerk.
Yeah.
I'm somebody now. I'm somebody now.
Yeah, the new phone book is here. The new phone book is here. I'm somebody now.
Thank Nihad Awad. Will you
Yes,
personally
yes.
thank Nihad Awad?
I feel
Look into that
I
camera.
feel honored.
Where would I find him?
Sleeking
To
around.
thank him.
No, actually, he operates at a pretty high level. He's an Armani cultural terrorist. He wears Armani, except when he goes back to Syria or Pakistan or Afghanistan, and then he dresses up.
How come he's not in jail?
That's why I wore this shirt. There's a tremendous historic analogy as to why Al-Hadad is not pounding rocks with a sledgehammer or making license plates.
But some of his past associates are.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
a few of
We're
them.
going to talk
But
about them?
our problem, Mecca, we have a problem.
Yes.
Our particular problem is these guys released 162 pages on one report. If you look at it a little differently, 57 pages. And our problem is we have how many pages? Like 10,000 pages? Damon, how many pages do we have of material in response to their report?
We got like 10 days worth of material.
We have our shows covered.
We could do shows from now till literally the end of the year.
I was going to say till
And now that we've
2014,
seen the
right?
press conference, probably add another month.
Yeah, and they're so goofy when they think because they put out somebody's salary, David Horowitz or Brigitte Gabriel or somebody, they didn't put my salary out.
Yeah, because you don't get one.
Because there is no salary.
They didn't put my salary out.
They certainly didn't.
Because you
put
don't
my
get one either. No salary for you, boo. And Damon,
This is definitely a negative
Imam,
path.
Schmucky, all of you, no salary for you.
But
None
either.
of us?
None of you.
None of you.
We are part of the Apple Corps. The Rotten
However, we
Corps.
will provide snacks.
Yes, we are part of the Apple Corps or whatever. They've divided into the Apple Corps and the Apple, or the inner core and the outer core. We are part of the inner core. So on the 20th
That's where
day
the worms are, right?
of what?
The worms.
Yeah,
So
we're
we were the early birds and we got the
The
worms.
worms, that's right.
on the 20th of September
Cover
on
that
this Jumpin'Jum'ah Freaky Friday. We're going to start our. We're planning a 3-part series answering CAIR's really humorous.
I was a little late on that one, sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. We're starting today a 3-part series answering CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations, investigative report on Islamophobia in America. They do this like every 6 months.
But don't worry, because it will take longer.
Yeah, exactly. They put one of these things out every 6 months, and really nobody cares. They had like 11 people. at the
Nobody
press
cares.
conference. And their press conference has something like 75 views or whatever as of today, right now, Friday the 20th. Now they haven't sent them maybe to Saudi Arabia where they may have a better audience, or Syria, but it looks like nobody cares about CAIR. I mean, that's what it really looks like,
Yeah.
and that's the worst thing.
Yeah.
Now, why are we addressing them?
You know
Maybe
what?
we should ignore them.
I think.
No, they
okay.
have too much. No, they have too much influence with
Well, yeah.
with government and educational and civic institutions.
I'm not
well,
quite
who's,
sure.
well, the people that are paying attention to him seems to be the media. Those are the ones who still seem to be paying attention to them, and that's their most dangerous ally right now.
Mark,
That's right.
the
You know.
media,
Yeah.
and we should care about what the media thinks about
No,
CAIR.
no. That's not what not what I'm saying at all. I'm saying is they're still getting out like they're a legitimate group, and
They
the
have
media is
legitimacy.
validating them as a valid group. And then people like
Because
that,
they are.
like that other little girl we met the other night who
Yeah.
will worship that. So
CAIR, a Muslim civil rights group.
Yeah, but let's think this through before we spend a lot of time. Now, if we're going to do this as a comedy, as humor, just to kind of parody, Al-Hadad, maybe the way he speaks or the way he looks or the fact that
No,
he's
we
a
don't.
terrorist.
No. Well,
satire.
yeah.
Satire.
right.
Like Saturday Night Live stuff, that sort of
Uh-huh.
thing. If we're going to do something like that, maybe I can get interested in that. But follow the thinking. if we beat the hell out of them factually, like we normally
Right.
do, and we establish the fact that they were busted by the FBI in 1993 October in a secret meeting in
They were wiretapped.
Philadelphia, being wiretapped,
Calling
and
for Hamas
laying out their
and
whole thing
terrorism.
and telling them we got to keep fighting the Jews.
But we don't have that, do we?
No, we don't have that stuff. But if we bust them out that way, and then we show that as of this month, the Federal Bureau of Investigation has been reprimanded by the Inspector General of the United States of America for collaborating 5 offices of the FBI with CAIR when in fact they're not supposed to even be dealing with them because of the Holy Land Foundation
Trial, right.
convictions.
Right.
Convictions.
Well,
Convictions.
When we bust them that way, the media, because they're so clear thinking, logical people, just
Well,
get madder. They
Shelby at 22
Oh, she's
was
20.
like, I'm going to investigate CAIR because I like children.
They just get madder at us because they can't respond, obviously, to the factual information we provide.
Right. We're haters.
So they then feel they have to defend CAIR as a target of us being haters because we disagree with them, and we expose them. So when we do that, we only push the media more into their corner, don't you think?
Regardless of what you do, you push media to them.
I mean, we could breathe and they push the media in
We
their
could
corner.
say nothing and
I
it
will
would
only
matter.
agree to a expose on CAIR if we can really have some fun with this.
Okay,
Okay.
well, I'm all for fun.
I'm
But
all for
there is
fun.
no
Okay.
fun in
Welcome
Islam.
to.
Let's vote.
Are we gonna start
It's
now with the
serious.
sarcasm?
Hold
You
on.
said like Saturday Night Live, right? What was that talk show
Hey,
they
Jane.
did? Welcome to Heavy Sarcasm.
Sarcasm.
We are so thrilled to have as our guest today Tom Trento.
If we agree here, our little team, if we agree
Okay.
that we take a serious, we deal with serious material, but we got to laugh a little bit with these guys. I mean, you can't. Yeah, when you look at their press conference and how they construct it, they got their little charts and all of this, and you know what we know. How could you?
I mean,
Not help
it's
but
comical. It's absolutely comical when you see it. When you know what the truth is, you're just like, you got to be kidding me.
And they want to be taken
Well, I
seriously.
think
They
it's
wanna be
not
you know.
comical. I think it's tragic, and that's probably why we laugh. But an even better reason to laugh is it bugs the crap out of them.
Can you say crap on TV?
Yes, that's
On
one of
Fridays
that's
you
one of the
can.
loud words.
Ye-
Crap is
it
loud.
bugs the heck out of them. They can't stand it. There's
crap.
nothing they hate more
Than
than
sarcasm.
humor and sarcasm and laughter in the face of
Us. So I was waiting for the screen to. So Nihad Awad, our friend, and Omar Ahmed. Is he still involved with them? I don't even know.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
Yes.
Corey Saylor, I think the guy's name
Yes.
is Corey. Is
He's
that his
still
name?
involved. Yes, Corey's
And
still involved.
Dougie Hooper,
Dougie
Ibrahim
still
Hooper.
looks- Dougie's-
Ibe, Abraham.
See, no,
Isn't it I think
Dougie's,
it's
is he the bee man? Who's the bee
Ibrahim.
man?
Abraham.
Who's the bee man? Who's the guy who likes the bees?
Oh,
There's
the
one-
bees is
Yeah,
Hooper.
It's Hooper. That's who-
Ibrahim Hooper
he's
is
the bee-
fascinated with bees.
bees. Yeah.
Oh wait, we're not supposed to.
Oh, we're not supposed to know that.
That's right. That's a little.
As far as he is concerned, you are not a legitimate news source.
That's right. We have
That's
called
right.
him.
he hung up on us.
Yeah, a couple of times.
Yeah.
Right.
Which makes the show better when they hang up.
They refuse. I tell you what, CAIR refuses to come on our show. Every one of them. I mean, they are so afraid of the facts. They are so afraid to answer the questions. They're so afraid to answer the documentation. They are literally afraid to come on this show or any other show. They won't come on.
They'll go on mainstream media shows where
Oh,
they're
they'll-
allowed to say whatever they want and not
Oh,
be
they'll go on.
challenged.
They'll go on Bill O'Reilly's show where he'll say, "Oh yeah, you're a stand-up
You're a
guy,
stand-up
guy,
guy,
Mr.
yeah.
Herbert."
Stand-up guy.
You
you're a
moderate
dope.
you.
Hey, listen, I know a lot of conservatives like Bill O'Reilly, but on this topic, Bill O'Reilly is a dope.
Well,
He enables these terrorist organizations
yes, he
by
does.
allowing them a platform.
Yes, he's super squishy on this subject for sure.
And when I say allow a
I
platform,
wonder why.
have them on for a debate, but don't let them just spew lies and not challenge them on anything. I mean,
Well, what do you, Abdullah, Imam Abdullah? What
can
do
I
you
help
think?
you? This whole subject makes me very uncomfortable today.
What do you think about CAIR, the Council on American Islamic Relations. SUNY Group.
Absolutely fantastic organization, the biggest civil rights organization in the United States that work on behalf of the Muslim community.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Okay, good. It's always good to have somebody.
Balance. We're fair and balanced,
We're
yeah.
fair and
Like a
balanced.
point counterpoint kind of thing.
Yes,
fair
the
and
point
balanced, yes.
counterpoint thing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
It was
see?
so nice yesterday without him here.
I know. We had the
I
Vaughns
know.
here yesterday. You were
Okay.
doing your
Not
thing.
Well,
here.
yeah, the Vaughns don't. Yeah,
They don't share the desk with anybody.
Yeah.
No. We,
I
we-
get
Imam
kicked out
Abdullah-
every
Imam
time they're
Abdullah
here.
didn't want to be here with them.
Yeah, Imam
He
Abdullah
didn't
did
think
not
that
want
was
to be
a good
there with
idea.
him.
So
Because
we
of-
agreed.
Actually, I just recommended the imam not come
Yes.
here with the Vaughns here for his own safety.
Oh, for his own
For his own
safety.
safety.
Because the Vaughns are so violent.
Yeah. They're peace
They're
loving.
Especially
so
Karen.
ferocious.
Can I tell you?
Oh,
Karen,
yeah.
Karen could whoop your butt. I
Can
tell
I
you.
tell you, after seeing his report yesterday, I
Billy
was
can mess you up,
very,
too.
very close to handing in my resignation and not even coming today.
So close and yet
Very
not close
frightening to be
enough.
amongst a bunch of hater people.
But what we're doing today, folks, on the 20th of September, already the 20th of September, 2013, WNN, if you're driving in your automobiles at 17 minutes after 5 o'clock on this wonderful Friday, it's WNN 1470, WNN 1470, we're coexisting with Pac-Man. And if you're watching us, you're doing that one of several ways, TrentoVision.tv, theunitedwest.org. In the near future, as we generate a few more shekels, and I'm very familiar with shekels.
Yes, you're going to
because
need a few where
we just
you're
went to the
going.
bank and we picked up our shekels that we're leaving in a week to go on the front lines and do a fact-finding mission. And we're going to try to report back every single day as part of the show, 5-10 minutes, a little Skype in. You're laughing.
Yes.
We will do it. We will do it. If we could Skype our friends from there, why can't we Skype ourselves?
Because
I don't know.
you guys are going to
because
be
we might be on a
all
motor coach. We might be
tied
up.
it's-
We might be in a hotel with no internet reception. We might
Dodging
be
RPGs with the
RPG
gas mask
rounds.
on.
We might be wearing gas masks. I don't know.
I have a gas mask with a wireless mic inside of it. No big deal. So we can
And a hotspot.
So,
maybe a lot of hot spots there. Who knows?
right.
But in any event,
before we go for this, not forget to mention our friends.
yeah, I'm doing that. In
Okay.
any event, if you're listening to us, you could be listening on iHeart.
Oh, you're doing that one.
There we go. iHeart. Oh, look.
iHeartRadio.
There
Look,
we
look. But there, look. I just created.
Oh, you're being cool
Come
now.
to the camera for a second.
You're being cool now, huh?
Mm? Mm?
Oh.
Come on!
Wrong camera.
I don't know
Tom.
one for radio, though.
Wrong camera. Wrong camera.
Oh. What's a good sign for radio? Oh, radio, big boom box. Okay.
No.
iHeartRadio. Actually, it's an excellent way. Everybody should download iHeartRadio. And then it asks you what station, put in WNN 1470 South Florida. You have to put your name and zip code or something. And then you can be any place in the world that has a phone connection and listen to this show every single day, 5 o'clock East Coast time. I listen when I get out of the car.
I
I
know.
put the thing on, I walk inside, and, the dog barks. And
During your live
Dog and
broadcast,
I
you do that.
listen
How do you
to
do
the-
that, Tom?
the what?
During your live broadcast, you do that. How do you do that, Tom?
Yeah, I'm able to I have a special.
He's
I
a
have the-
multitasker.
I have the premium version of iHeartRadio. Or you can go to Tea Party Community.
TeaPartyCommunity.com.
Tell them about all that while I drink a sip of water.
TheTeaPartyCommunity.com. Mark, that's your gig.
Yes. Oh, TeaPartyCommunity.com. The conservative social media site. It is like Facebook, but for conservatives. If you're tired of Facebook, you're tired of being kicked off, bounced off, having your article censored and otherwise filtered, go to TeaPartyCommunity.com and feel free and live.
Oh, how nice. Feel free and live.
Feel
Yeah.
free and live.
Ooh,
That's
I
good.
might have created a new logo. Feel free and live.
There you go, man.
There you go.
All right, well,
Sounds like
now-
a feminine product.
like I said,
Don't forget
we're
about-
doing
Hold
here.
on, we still got.
Oh,
We have a
also,
Bare Naked Islam.
also you can link to us while you're reading Bare Naked Islam. I like that. It isn't Islamophobia if they're really trying
They're
to
trying
kill
to
you.
Yeah, she's pretty good.
And
Oh,
Watchdog
also
Swat.
watchdogwire.com
And
and bizpackreview.com.
Right.
I tell
Good
you,
sites.
BizPack is getting really big. There's been a couple of topics that I've Googled, and BizPack's articles came up first.
Yes.
And these were national issues.
Tape.
So very.
Mark, when I'm taking tape off my head.
I'm trying to multitask
that's a
here.
problem.
Okay.
Okay, so we have BizPack Review, we have watchdogwire.com, we have Bare Naked Islam.
Tape of my face.
Also, we can I mention other websites?
Friday!
That we read?
Jumpin'Jum'ah!
Can I mention other websites that we read all the time?
No, you can't.
No?
No, you can't. Not yet.
He's doing something. But I can mention this, that on
You
this
get the
day,
you
the
want the camera
20th,
back now? You want the
I'm
camera
okay
back?
now, yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay.
On this day, the 20th, of September, we are going to start with just a very brief overview of CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations. And we're going to start in a couple of minutes. But before we do that, does anybody know, I want to get his name right. Anybody know a gentleman by the name of Gad El-Hadad?
Oh, I knew that one.
Gad El-Hadad, nice young gentleman, hardworking chap.
Yeah.
Could you tell us about him?
Well, Tom, Gad El-Hadad
Yes?
is a friend of Bill.
Oh, FOB?
Do you remember?
Is he an
FOBs? Yeah, they're still out there.
FOBs?
Yeah, friend of
What's
Bill.
a friend of Bill?
Well, a friend of Bill is a friend of former President Bill Clinton. And Haddad worked for the William J.
Oh, what a
Clinton
nice-
Foundation,
Oh,
which is
oh, wow.
a non-profit organization.
So would I be correct, Jane, in saying that Gad
El-Hadad.
Gad El-Hadad.
Mm-hmm.
Would I be correct in saying Gad El-Hadad
I'm not sure how to pronounce.
is a Muslim name?
Oh yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
So Bill is as multicultural in his hiring as Huma Hillary is in hers.
Well, it's not just that they're multicultural. It's the layers of multiculturality.
Well, there was
I
a
think.
rumor that Ummah had some sort of Muslim Brotherhood connections.
Oh, like
your
her mother, father,
Oh,
brother.
come
Just a
on.
rumor.
John McCain said that is not
Come on.
true.
Okay, okay.
John McCain said
All right,
it's
I
not
stand,
true,
I
Tom.
stand corrected.
Mr. El-Hadad, I'll have you know, served for
Gad El-Hadad.
5 years at the Clinton Foundation.
He spent 5 years working for Bill and Hillary. Must have gotten that. Do you think he ever
Well,
met
he's
Ummah?
also a very ambitious man.
Okay.
Not, he looks like a young man to me. And obviously he has a lot of energy because while he was working for
While he
Bill
was working
Clinton's
at the
Foundation,
Clinton
at the
Foundation.
same time,
That Ummah was employed by Hillary.
yes.
Uma was actually employed by Bill by the same
She was
foundation.
actually employed by an associate of the same foundation.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably Gihad and Huma
Yeah, they probably know each other.
did prayers together or
Well, probably not together. They would have
slaughtered
been
an oxen
segregated.
together or whatever they
Yeah.
did.
Do you want to know what else he
Yes.
was working on?
I'm waited with bated breath.
Okay.
Whatever that is.
Well, he was an advisor to Mohammed Morsi's Muslim Brotherhood government.
Who was?
Haddad. El-Hadad.
Gad El-Hadad,
Yes.
who worked for Bill Clinton, also worked for Mohammed Morsi, the president of Egypt,
At the same time.
at the same time.
Yes. And how do we know this?
This man right here?
Yeah.
There's Gihad.
See, I think that's a shot of him when he was on C-SPAN or something.
But this
So-
guy's with Bill Clinton. And
This guy
and
worked with Bill Clinton
That's
for
Yeah.
5
really
years.
strange. How does that happen?
Well,
And-
that seems to happen a lot with the Clintons, that the foundation employs people who actually have jobs with, maybe the U.S. government that they don't actually attend to, and maybe foreign governments at the same time.
Oh, so Ummah,
What is the problem with this?
Lee, you know.
We're just
Well, we're just.
taking a look at friends of Bill.
You cannot play for two teams at the same time?
Well, I think he was on the same team at the same time. I think
Yeah.
that's the problem. I think that's the problem.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyway, the reason why are we talking about this
Yeah, why are we
anyway?
talking about
Yeah,
this?
why are we talking about this? Because he was arrested in Cairo this week.
Arrested.
Jihad?
Arrested, yes.
Arrested? Why?
Yes.
Why was he arrested, CJ?
Well, he was arrested for inciting violence.
Jihad?
No.
Jihad?
Yeah.
Is this jihad? Jihad?
Well, I don't know.
Inciting violence. What kind of violence?
Where
is
was he inciting violence?
Let's see. Where? In Cairo.
Cairo,
On
Egypt?
behalf of the Muslim Brotherhood.
So summing it all up, unbelievable, folks.
No, it's not unbelievable. It's if it didn't happen, it would be atypical. Okay.
What are we going to do to secure his freedom?
Well, I'm sure.
All we can.
I'm sure.
Do you think while we are liberating Syria from that animal Assad that maybe we could go get jihad?
You know, here's what's very interesting to me.
Yeah,
All
maybe
these
it
years-
is pronounced jihad. Who
Jihad
knows?
El-Hadad.
Yeah.
All these years, the United West and our friends that appear in CAIR's comic book, basically, I mean, a silly book they put together, all these years we have been yelling and screaming and dancing and singing and praying and preaching and saying, the Muslim Brotherhood is coming, the Muslim Brotherhood is coming. And, you know, and we hear, oh, you guys are crazy, there is no Muslim Brotherhood,
That's
or if
right.
there is,
Nobody would
it's a
listen.
secular organization,
Yeah.
it's peaceful, all of this.
It's here to promote love and tolerance.
We find that the Hillarys hired 2 Muslim Brotherhood associates,
At
Abedin,
least.
at least, and Jihad El-Hadad for 5 years. Uma was there for 10 years. And now Jihad El-Hadad, Mr. Jihad, is busted, got arrested a day or 2 ago
Yeah.
by the army, the
Yeah.
military, because he is a spokesperson for the Muslim
Morsi,
Brotherhood,
yeah.
for Morsi, President Morsi.
Yeah.
Do you think
Oh,
Bill
they're just
Clinton-
arresting everybody over there, Tom. You're just making something out of nothing.
was
They're
a
just-
coup.
They're just arresting everybody.
I've also noticed this: the Democrat left, the low information or low intelligence voters,
Right.
not the elite that go to the Ivy schools. There's such a division. You talk about a class system in the Democrat Party.
Right.
There are the elites with their BMWs and their Mercedes, and then all the poor people with nothing.
Bicycles?
Oh no, they have plenty.
They have bicycles
They
and
have
Obama phones.
plenty.
And,
Yeah.
the sad irony is this party, the Democrat Party, says, oh, we vote for us and we will give you stuff so you have something. The Republicans say, vote for us and we will help construct a society through which you can make it to where some of us may be. 2 totally different approaches.
That's the give someone a fish versus teach them to
Yep.
fish.
And- But those down here that ride the bicycles in the Democrat Party, they pride themselves on having extremely intelligent leaders. Barack Obama is so smart.
The Messiah.
Hillary Clinton is so smart. Bill Clinton is so smart. Do you think Hillary and Bill, who are so smart, knew that Jihad El-Hadad worked for Mohammed Morsi at the same time he was working for Bill
Oh,
Clinton?
please, you're talking about a man who needs somebody to define what is.
Well,
for
how do you
him.
think that our policy is determined? It's
Well-
determined by people just like this that are working for the Brotherhood and also connected to the upper echelons of our political system that are why we are pro-Muslim Brotherhood. It's not, there was absolutely no doubt that the Clintons and Obama and everyone up there knew, Axelrod and
Who
everyone
do you
else.
think has more influence in the Democrat Party? In a party, Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, or Hillary and Bill?
Say that again?
Who has more influence in the Democrat Party?
In
Just-
the party?
in the party itself, as a party. Who has more influence to all the members of the party?
Can I
The
opt
Clintons
for
or
choice
the Obamas?
C? Can I choice C, being the Muslim Brotherhood? Definitely the Clintons.
I would argue the Clintons they've been around longer, they're deeply entrenched, they've got the good old boy network. Barack Obama is a bizarre phenomenon that popped up. He's going to be discarded by the party at some point for a lot of reasons.
They will purge the books of him.
They will. But
You think?
let's say it's
You think
close.
you'll
I
see
don't
that
think
in
so.
our lifetime?
I don't think so.
I don't
Let's
think
say
so.
it's close. Let's say it's close in terms of influence.
Okay.
Well, I think it's not close, and the reason why it wouldn't be close is because the Clintons really are in it, and they're true believers. Hillary is anyway.
well, here's my
I think
point.
Bill's in it for the money
Here's the point I'm making.
and the girls, but
The point I'm making, if we are Muslim Brotherhood agents of influence,
What do you mean if?
and we have to select, a couple to carry our water in the United States of America and around the world, would the Clintons be a good choice to
Oh,
embed
yeah.
somebody as an
Embed.
intelligence officer?
Yeah, but so would Obama because
Yeah.
of his heritage.
Okay.
Well, also,
so,
well,
Well,
it's
no,
not
because-
either or. It's
well,
both and.
yeah, that was my point.
I think the Clintons are better racketeers than Obama.
Like Obama has a zillion cameras and Secret Service on him. Am I sure?
Yeah.
Has a zillion cameras and Secret Service on him 24/7. Clinton slides and glides in the shadows of the world. He pops up in Indonesia. He pops up in Germany. He could run 50 different scams. And if he's got the Brotherhood giving him information, saying, we want you to meet with the one of the princes in Qatar, and just tell him that this deal we'll put together. You're going to get 3 or 4 million for your organization.
Your library will be
Try
huge.
300 million.
Yeah.
Try 300 million. And by the way, since we're talking about the Muslim Brotherhood and the Clinton Foundation, let's do a little recap and reminder for everybody. The Muslim Brotherhood credo was and is: Allah is our objective, the Quran is our law, the Prophet is our leader, jihad is our way, and dying in the way of Allah is the highest of our aspirations.
Allahu Akbar.
Allah Akbar!
So, when you have a guy working for basically the presidential library, and this is who, and that's his part-time gig, and his other part-time gig is Allah is our objective and jihad is our way.
It's almost like the left does not believe that is their motto. That is not only their motto, that is their belief and core belief. I mean, it is really insidious how much the left does not believe.
Don't believe it.
That they don't believe that.
But all you have to do is watch everything they do. What did they do in Egypt when they won their democratic election?
Right.
I read an article. Well, you can read a million articles that were written in January of 2011 by leftist writers when in 2012 when the Brotherhood was taking over Egypt. And it was this, the leftists are writing, it's a new golden age is coming to Egypt, all this wonderful stuff. And now all the brothers are in jail in Egypt, and Egypt is moving very rapidly toward identifying the Muslim Brotherhood once again as a terrorist organization. But for our purposes, boys and girls, today on the 20th of September, 34 minutes after 5 o'clock, WNN 1470, TrentoVision.tv. For our purposes, the Muslim Brotherhood, which began in 1928, gave birth to a lot of front organizations. I think the Brotherhood thought it would be very, very important, particularly post-Oslo. Right after Oslo occurred, kids, listen carefully. We're going to give you a little history
When we
lesson
say
here.
Oslo, we mean Oslo, Norway, not Oz.
Yeah, not the land of Oz. When the Accords at Oslo occurred, we're going to put all this together in a second. The Brotherhood said, bad news, we got to figure out how to form an organization that can destabilize this effort to delegitimize Islam, but we got to do it in such a slick way that the dumb Americans who love civil rights buy the front message while we are working our dirty deeds behind the scenes. And what do you think started as a result of that command by the Brotherhood?
Can I take a guess?
Take a wild guess.
CAIR.
The Council on
I'll take
American Islamic
CAIR for
Relations.
$200, Alex.
I'll
There you
take
go.
care for $200, please.
So,
Please, Alex.
So we just connected Bill Clinton to CAIR, okay, with 2 degrees of separation, because it's probably
Well, wait a
one-
minute. Which
one
is
degree of
worse?
separation.
Yeah, which is worse?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, now let's lay out the factual material. I think a fun way of doing this is to show a little bit of the press conference that occurred yesterday in Washington, D.C. Now, see my shirt right here? What's it say, CJ? I can't read backwards.
It says, leave the gun, take the cannolis.
Leave the gun, take the cannolis. Anybody know what that is?
That's from The Godfather.
Don't play the music.
Don't,
Public domain.
don't.
We can sing it, though.
It's a very interesting scene. Very interesting scene where somebody meets their demise in a car and
Lead poisoning.
lead poisoning. They had lead poisoning, and the boss there tells the lead poisoner, leave the gun, take the box of cannolis that are in the car.
That's
We gotta
right, because
take
he's a
those with
family
us.
man after
Yeah.
all.
Well, there's no blood on the box.
We got to bring those home for dessert. Well, if you want a visual image of CAIR, Council on American Islamic Relations, a nice, strong, healthy visual image of the analogy of CAIR, it is to this organization that some people say didn't exist, but movies have been made about it and
That
television
thing.
shows. This thing of ours,
I don't
La Cosa
know what you're
Nostra,
talking about, Trento.
the mafioso.
It's Sicilian
Mafioso
thing.
operated in a their desire was to have very legitimate front organizations that were part and parcel of government, of family life, of social life, all of this stuff, and then behind the scenes they did their dirty deeds. CAIR is exactly the same. And you asked before why Nihad Awad is not in the Gray Bar Hotel. When you get to the level of some of these people like John Gotti, you have a whole bunch of people under you who will take the fall for you and provide plausible deniability. You may quietly give them a directive somehow, but you do it in such a way that only 1 or 2 people that you really trust, usually family members, they get it. Then that message goes down, and nobody knows where it really came from. So the top guys are always protected from getting pinched. That's how
Except for
this-
they're not always protected.
well, yeah, with the technologies of the day, where you can plant a bug in the cereal box of somebody and get a great 1080 video, HD video. But for the sake of our audience, our listeners, our viewers, so that you get a rough working analogy, the La Cosa Nostra, the mafia, CAIR operates exactly. They are a criminal organization. They have many of their leaders have been pinched and are in prison.
But they're unindicted, Trento. They're unindicted.
No, they're in
And there's
jail.
a
no,
bunch
the
of people.
indicted ones are in jail.
Those are there's the Teflon ones that go to a couple of trials and all of that, and they get out of
Yeah,
it.
who was that guy who did the Teflon trial? What was that guy?
Teflon Don.
The
John
Teflon
Gotti.
Don, that was
John
Gotti.
Gotti? Was
yeah.
it
John
Gotti?
Gotti. So there are folks like that. Inevitably, these criminal organizations go down. But just as the families are organized with lieutenants and consiglieres and all these other elements,
Capos.
and capos, don't make fun of Italian people, okay? You can
You
make
better
fun
not
of
make fun of
Jews, of
Italians.
Muslims, of
better
everything. Not Italian people, okay?
But you're
Not,
not,
not unless you want to walk with a distinct lip.
and you're not allowed in mosque either because you eat garlic.
That's right. That's right. That was a good show. We read the rules of what mosque? Pompano,
Mosque
is it?
etiquette.
Mosque etiquette.
Islamic
Yeah.
Center of South Florida.
No people of my
Do not
bloodline.
enter the mosque until the odor of garlic has vanished.
My family,
I
I kind of like that one.
I concur.
my
I'll second
relatives
that,
still
Monster.
eat garlic every day. It's great,
And
right?
don't
Chew
come to
it
bed
raw.
like that
It
either.
does go out of your pores and everything.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
does. You
I'm
wake up
careful.
at 4 o'clock in the morning and the house smells like garlic.
Okay, our
It's
clock,
awful.
our clock is ticking away. We
Yeah,
gotta
but the
get
garlic.
Tick, tick.
Remember, we're gonna have fun here.
Yeah.
We're
But
doing, hey, by the way, may I announce that this will be a 5-part
a
series?
5-part series.
Yeah, when we said 3, we were
It's a-
kidding.
It's really a
Yeah,
5-part
always
series.
add 2. The
And when they're gone, we'll add some more.
yes, that's right. Now
All right.
this is a never-ending series.
That's right.
So Muslims discriminate against Italian people in their mosques.
Oh,
right.
wait a
So the
minute. The
garlic
CAIR
smells good.
website says making democracy work for everyone.
Okay, except
That's
stinky
right.
Italian people
60
smell like
Italian
garlic.
people.
One man, one vote,
And Jews.
one time.
And Jews. And Jews. No Jews.
All right, so
No
what
juice
we're gonna-
for you.
Here's what we're gonna do, folks. We're just gonna introduce today. We're gonna show you the culprits, the leaders
players.
of CAIR. Now, this is very important to understand this. Just as there were a variety of families, 5 families in New York, 1 or 2 families in New Jersey, a couple of families in Las Vegas, Philadelphia, a couple of other places, and these aren't all part of one corporation. Believe me, they all worked together.
The part of the
So
syndicate.
if the Philadelphia family told the police, I know nothing about New York or New Jersey, he's lying through his teeth, okay? They all worked together. They made decisions to divide up the various
The
parts of the
syndicate,
Northeast.
Trento, the syndicate.
Right. In a similar way, many of my friends, former friends, Muslims who work for CAIR, leave my friendship and become an ideological enemy, an enemy of the state, because they're part of a terrorist organization. And I tell them, I said, if you're going to be paid, and one person in particular who's a very friendly Muslim friend of mine, a guy, I mean, we disagreed about stuff, but we had a friendly relationship. He went and took a position being paid by CAIR. I told him that day, very honestly, you're no longer, I don't count you as a friend the way I used to. You are an ideological enemy of the state and an ideological enemy of me. And the fact that that may not be a legal position right now in America, though it is to some extent, is irrelevant because we know the truth, okay? We know the truth. And this individual keeps saying, my CAIR, which is somewhere else, is not part of Washington CAIR. Washington CAIR is the un-indicted co-conspirator. That particular office, which is the national headquarters, right?
I'm not part of the mafia.
Okay, so where does-
in New Jersey? I'm just a mafia in Florida.
Yeah, and it's different, you know?
It's different.
And how is that differentiated from Hamas and the Islamic Resistance Movement and the Palestine Committee in
They
America?
are all the same. You should know this.
They're one big happy family.
They're all part of the syndicate.
Yes, that's all the syndicate. So when you hear someone in CAIR say, oh yes, CAIR is an unindicted co-conspirator, and in our 73-part series, you will learn what that's all about. When you hear somebody say that, don't buy it. We have to have a don't buy it alert. Don't buy it! You know, when they say something, don't buy it.
Brand new Corvette for $19,000.
Don't buy it! So, yeah, coexist. All right, so what we're going to do, we're going to show you some of the players right now. We're going to run a couple of minutes of their press conference. Then we're going to show you a summary, brief summary that the Inspector General did, reprimanding the Federal Bureau of Investigation for working with these guys. Take a look. Let's roll the press conference.
Real quick, just so you know who this guy is that's about to talk, just a real quick background on the guy that's talking. It's Nihad Awad. And a quote attributed to him: after the Gulf War was over, I was offered a job with the Islamic Association for Palestine as their public relations director. Since many Americans had been exposed to only one side of the story, my responsibility was to explain the Palestinian experience to the public and the media. In this effort, I worked closely with IAP President Omar Ahmed.
Now, IAP has been so designated as a terrorist organization.
Right, correct.
so-
IAP, Islamic Association for Palestine, is a terrorist entity. So he is telling you he works for a terrorist entity. Here's the video.
every report on the activities and funding of a network of people that made a profession, a lucrative profession, out of targeting a religious community. Who am I talking about? Islamophobes. They have built institutions since 9/11 to target Islam and the American Muslim community, a peaceful, law-abiding religious community. Today, we are releasing our report titled Legislating Fear. Our research is shedding light on a network of individuals and organizations who are manufacturing fear of Islam and Muslims, spreading fear of Islam and Muslims, legislating fear of Islam and Muslims, and profiting handsomely from spreading fear of Islam and Muslims. This Islamophobia network is having an extremely corrosive effect on the civil rights and civil liberties of American Muslims and on their safety, and on the safety of other Americans who are perceived to be Muslims. The individuals and the organizations who make up the network of the Islamophobia conduct smear and misinformation campaigns against individuals and institutions who believe in serving the public and work in civic public governmental
Only 24
institutions.
more minutes of
Over
this.
the
Oh God! Please, Tom.
There's nothing sexy about that press
Please, Tom.
conference at all.
This guy. This is. You know, it wouldn't be so vile, disgustingly laughable if it wasn't coming from Gad El-Hadad himself. I mean, we know
A terrorist.
A terrorist.
Yeah.
He's,
Uh,
not,
well,
he's,
he-
he's
well,
not. He's not a cultural
let us-
terrorist.
when we
he
use
is a
the-
terrorist.
But when we use the term terrorist,
Well, one man's terrorist is another
One man's
man's
freedom
George
fighter.
Washington, okay?
Freedom fighter. They are freedom
Yeah.
fighters. They are not terrorists. You are a terrorist, Trento. You're terrorizing the Muslim community.
there is the whole word terrorism has just been you talk about convoluted definitions.
It means nothing.
But there's
You know, if I see Gad El-Hadad in the streets, I'm dialing FBI hotline. Hey, see a terrorist spot? He's right here. Gad El-Hadad, go get him.
Citizens arrest. Citizens arrest.
But you know, he's got a clean record. He's never been found guilty of breaking any law. But he
So
has
what's this
been-
wiretap thing
He's-
about that he's on? I mean, he's busted on the FBI wiretap.
Wiretap.
and he's an un-indicted co-conspirator, but he hasn't been found guilty of anything at this point. So sometimes in the law
Okay, I
enforcement,
But
know
that
John-
doesn't stop us from saying that he's guilty,
All right.
right?
The thing about it is,
No, we're
You are
accountable-
just a hate group,
we're
but you
accountable
say
to
matters
nobody.
not.
Tom, did you know before John Gotti was found guilty that he was absolutely guilty of being in the mafia?
Mark, I take the fifth.
you know,
Yeah, I was going to
take
say,
the
you don't want to
Do
ask
you-
him that.
I take the Fifth Amendment.
He'd like to be able to go back to Jersey.
I was going to
someday.
say he's going to upset some relatives now.
Why are you going to make things so
to the
uncomfortable
Central.
for Trento?
I know.
Take the Fifth. Yes, sometimes those in the know that
Okay.
those who are guilty are
You know
actually
what?
guilty.
Sue me,
can't prove
Gad.
it- can't
Sue
prove
me.
it in a
He's a
court of law.
terror. You're a terrorist. You are a complete and total terrorist. Please, I would love to go through discovery with you.
Is he a tid?
He's a total Islamic dirtbag. Probably one of the
Yeah.
10 top Islamic dirtbags
One
in
of the
all of
top
America.
10
Oh,
tids.
like you. You're a top 10 vicious
a
hateful
top
group.
10 tid.
A top 10.
He is a terrorist in every sense of the word.
And when we're done with our
77-part series.
two-year investigation, you too will understand what we're talking about. That was a little bit of Gad El-Hadad. Go to Corey Saylor. Let me show you the Muslim Brotherhood. Now, when we say the Muslim Brotherhood and we interchange that with CAIR, we're doing that purposefully because the federal courts have identified the Muslim Brotherhood, Hamas, and CAIR essentially as one entity.
Right.
They're so interchanged and interspersed and
So why does one
intersected.
arm of the federal government through the court system indict these people for terrorism, and then
Pre-Obama,
another,
don't forget.
and then
Obama.
oh, is that it?
2008.
Because then there's another arm of the federal government, which would be the executive branch.
It depends on the level
in
of
this
infiltration in that particular
considers
branch.
them to be a democratic political movement and a
President
force
Obama.
And let's not
for
forget
a force for good, and
let's not forget our glorious leader coming out and
And
praising ISNA
and the
as
Arab
a
Spring.
wonderful group, as a wonderful
2 weeks
group.
ago.
2 weeks ago, wonderful
Yeah.
group,
50
doing
hours.
fabulous work over the last 50 years.
All right, let's show Corey Saylor. Corey Saylor is the
Sailor,
the author.
Sailish,
Saylor.
Sailor.
In 58
Corey Saylor
pages.
is the
I only
author.
expect to take about 5 hours to go through it. For your convenience, we've built in a 1-minute bathroom break about halfway through the presentation.
Oh, see, he's funny
He's
too.
When we talk about Islamophobia, we want to
But
be clear
nobody
about
laughed.
what we're specifically looking at. And that is closed-minded prejudice directed at the American Muslim community. So when, for instance, during the Park 51 debate in 2010, 70% of Americans
Oh, you mean the building of a
opposed the
mosque on the site
construction
of
of an
Ground
Islamic
Zero?
Cultural Center in Lower Manhattan,
Just
we're not saying
I
that
want the
70%
viewers
of
to check the
American public
optics
is
and the listeners
Islamophobic.
to listen to
There were
his
legitimate
pitch.
concerns within that
'Cause we're showing some
conversation, and some
psychological
people
stuff
have a lot
here.
of misinformation. We're talking about the smaller core who have decided that Islam is a threat to this country and
Oh,
are not
yes.
interested in changing their minds, are not interested in having a discussion. They're only interested
whoa.
in fear
Oh,
about
I'm
it.
happy to have a discussion about that.
We're not happy to have a discussion. We have one every day.
I'd be happy to have any. All right, if you don't want to have a
Tom,
discussion,
those guys do not want to show the video. They just,
This is going to be a long
he
series.
told you
Part
to play the
82.
video.
It's 162 pages.
This is
One
why.
part per page.
We're not even on page 1 yet.
And if you would like to have 117 parts of this program, please donate securely at theunitedwest.org.
I think, well, you know what? Every word
And,
that
and
that
just
this-
send
every-
Tom
oh,
a
I'm
little
sorry.
note. Dear Tom and gang, you fabulous bunker boys, you. I need to know more about CAIR. Please extend your coverage to 118 episodes and parts
Well,
of
put that-
CAIR.
And if
picture
anyone
back
would
up.
like to
And
send
I
money
will
to send
sponsor
them.
it.
If
How
watch
much
this.
does it cost to sponsor
One segment?
one segment of CAIR?
There you go.
More than we have. let me
That's
tell
right.
you. Look at this. Look at the optics. And for those of you driving, go home. The United West. Don't do YouTube. YouTube.com/The United West. Don't do YouTube. Whatever you do, don't do that. Go somewhere
Very
else.
dirty.
Very
Go
dirty.
somewhere else. I found out. Check out the optics. Check
Now
out the
everybody's
visuals.
looking.
Yeah, I know. They're going. Hey, you're. Check out the visuals here. They have the nice little logo, their podium, their backdrop. What is?
Oh, they have a
prominently-
flag back there. They have an
Oh.
American flag, which usually they don't at
They
CAIR
never-
events.
they
It's
never
really,
have it.
really small in the background, and
Yeah,
usually
they're
somebody
going-
has to remind
Remember
them that
they had to
there's one
stop
there.
something once and go and get like a
And they got a postcard.
a postcard size
a
flag.
flag
They
with-
had one for
yeah.
the beginning of a meeting.
A flag from a postcard, and then they never say the Pledge of Allegiance.
Nope.
Or
Because
sing the national anthem.
Pledging allegiance to the United States of America would not be very Sharia compliant.
No, not at all. Because
But
as a
according
Christian,
to them, Sharia and the Constitution are
Perfectly
compatible.
compatible.
You know what's amazing me? Every time I look at CAIR, all right, it's just the amount of money that goes into this organization. Because, you know, I do a lot of the technical stuff and I see a lot of their optics. They always have very professional boards, and those
They
aren't
do.
cheap.
That-
Those are
that's-
like $300, $400 each.
that's nice stuff. Yeah.
The backdrop there, that's pretty expensive there. And you always see them in very nice suits, very nice clothes.
I bet they get a
very-
wardrobe allowance, unlike
And-
certain
You ever see
people.
John Gotti and Frank Nitti and those guys, the suits
Yep.
they wore?
And they're always
These guys are the
impeccably
same
dressed.
sort of criminals.
Impeccably
about it.
dressed. Always wear the same type of outfit. They're always like a blue blazer. Always look very presidential with their ties and their buttons. And it's, you know, it's just disgusting. It really is how they, and, you know, it drives
They all
me
dress
crazy.
like college Republicans did 30 years ago, is what
And
they
Marcus
dress
is like a college freshman.
And
He doesn't
You don't see
dress.
them dressed like this.
He's wearing his underwear.
yeah,
As shorts.
Yeah.
Well, enough is enough with the those optics, okay? All right, so
Thank
what are we
you,
doing
thank
so
you.
far? It's 55 minutes after
Yeah,
5
real
o'clock
quick,
on
if
this
you're
the
gonna
20.
cover-
Let me hang on.
Oh, I was going to say, get that.
55 minutes after 5 o'clock. Tom Trento here, CJ. Everybody else, Mark over there, Damon, even Abdul is here. We got about 5 minutes left, folks.
And
This is-
Guido.
This is the sort of the humorous.
It's the launch
We're
party.
laughing. Yeah, the launch for a multi-part. How you like that? Multi-part expose on CAIR, but in particular, Council on American Islamic Relations. In particular, their new diatribe they put out that has the United West in, and most of our friends that are part of the counter. We call it a counter jihad movement. They call it Islamophobia, which is just a goofy word. But this is the introduction to that. And all we're saying today is they did this big analysis. We'll go through it. Why is it important to you? These individuals have the ear of the President of the United States. They're influencing domestic and foreign policy. And we are maintaining that they are a terrorist organization that hates Israel with a passion. Many of them hate the United States. All of this is a front, and their desire is the establishment of the Islamic Caliphate, and in particular right now, the freeing, the liberation of Palestine, of Al-Quds, Jerusalem, of the occupied land in their mind, of Israel. That's where they're going with this. And they are advising the president as to what he should do in Syria.
And many Congress people as well.
And many Congress people.
Interesting how
That's why this is
how
important.
CAIR is actually backing Obama in Syria.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot lately. That because the Brotherhood is fighting.
Hello.
You know, well, I'm just saying. I didn't think they'd actually come out and take a real public stance on that, but they're almost lock, stop, and in sync with.
There's no
Syria.
brotherhood in the U.S. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Only that the person who happened to lead the Muslim Brotherhood the last time was born, trained, and raised in California. Other than that, right?
Who was that?
Morsi.
He wasn't
Well, he
born
wasn't
there.
born here.
No,
went to school
he
there.
went to school here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
He
He
was
was
born
born
in
in Egypt. He
Egypt.
was trained, and you know what I meant.
Yeah, went to
Yeah.
school here, and joined the Muslim
Right.
Brotherhood here. What we're going to do in the coming shows, today's Friday, have a wonderful and safe weekend. We have here the script.
Up to date show.
No.
What is this, Mark? Tell us real fast.
Government
That
exhibit.
That is a
Article
government
8.
exhibit from the wiretap that came from Nihad Awad, who you just saw on the screen, which I'll kind of like throw back here.
20 years ago.
20 years ago, this guy right here, Nihad Awad, who helped form that organization, which he's standing in front of, which says CAIR, Council. Before they founded the meeting, the FBI wiretapped him and said, hey, these guys are up to no good. We need to wiretap them.
Now,
And they did.
that wiretap was October 1993. The reason why the FBI was looking at them, because the Oslo Accords occurred September 13th, 1993, and chatter in the Islamic world said that we can't allow the Oslo Accords to go forward. It's going to delegitimize Islam. We need to form an organization. Well, the FBI went into a hotel in, this is factual information, folks, in Philadelphia. We have the transcript. Monday, we'll read the transcript to
Also,
you.
the FBI's.
Right now,
The FBI report.
The
No,
FBI
we don't have time.
the IG report, watch how fast. The Inspector General just reprimanded the FBI, 5 offices, for collaborating with CAIR since they told all the FBI offices nationwide have nothing to do with CAIR since the Holy Land Foundation trial 2008. These are bad people. We're going to prove it. CAIR, hang on. You're in for a little ride. We'll see you now. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. See ya.